Hey everybody, how you doing? Russell Moore, we're dedicated to financial literacy again. Welcome to the channel. Please hit the subscribe button, and also you want to hit the notify button and continue to get content in the future. And give me a like if you like the content. Only if you like it. If you don't like it, hey, be real, be honest. That's how I am. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to talk about inflation again. That seems to be the big topic. I want to remind everybody on the 16th of this month, of March, Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve Chief, will be discussing. I think they've already talked about where they're going to take the rates, but our rates, the interest rate is going up, the federal interest rate. They're thinking that now, right now, we're 0.000, and most people think we're going to go up 25 basis points a quarter. I was thinking maybe more like 50, but they probably want to start off slow. And so I'm going to retract that from my last video where I said 50. It's a good chance that it'll be 25. And I think they've even came out and said such. But anyway, the interest rate is going up. Okay. And now we got interest at higher levels as far as the housing market. So that means, yeah. So if you're looking at buying a home right now, like I'll give you an example. I bought my home in November of 2021, just last year. So I've been in our new home for about, 3-4 months. And I've been in the house for about 4 months. Now, our interest rate for this home was 2.7, 2.8 at the most, right? And right now they're at 4%, 3.9, 4%, and they're going to climb. The bad thing about it is prices hasn't gone down much, very little. There might be a few price cuts here where, the seller is just trying to get rid of the house. It'll drop at 10 or 15,000, which is great, but nothing significant, So are we headed for a housing bubble crash? What goes up must come down. So it's not a prediction. Eventually we can't keep having these kinds of prices, the price increases that we've had with the homes in the last year and a half, 18 months. So my encouragement, and I'm going to do a video on this as far as should I buy a house or not? For those that are out there looking right now, you may have missed the low rate season. But here's the thing: even if you got it at 3%, that's still pretty good. 3.94%. It's not as good as it was a year ago. Okay, I get that, but when you look historically at housing interest rates, 3.5, 3.7 is kind of like the average of about 4%, So there was a time when my dad bought his house, in the late 70s, early 80s, and we were looking at 10, 12% interest rates. So you can't complain. So, but this is not about the housing. What I want to talk about is this question that's been asked. Because everybody's talking about gas, inflation. Okay, meat is up, fruit is up, vegetables are up. Consumer products are up. Used cars are up. Everything is up. Okay, ground beef. I'll give you an example. Ground beef, right? 13% year to date, meaning you're paying 13% more this year than you did last year at the same time. So in March of 2021, you were paying 13% less than you are today. Eggs, 13, 15%. Fruit, oranges, apples, pears, all of that, up 10%. Used cars, up 30%, 32% year to date. Wow. Yeah. Bacon. Oh, let me get bacon, 18%. I think I said it in my last video, 18%. Yeah, things are up, you guys. Tissue, toilet paper, women's products, 15 to 20%. General Mills just announced they're going up 30 to 13%, 13 to 50% on all their product, all of them, for you Cheerio lovers. We know the P&G went up 15 to 15%, and they're all blaming it on inflation. They're using inflation as an excuse to raise prices. We have the right to raise prices because of inflation. Bottleneck. Give me a break. Come on, you guys. You know you're using it. All you companies out there, you're still, the earnings, if you look at earnings reports that come out quarterly, these companies are still making money. They're still making profits. All right. So anyway, but what I want to talk about now is we're talking about gasoline. Right now, I'm in Southern California paying $7, over $7 for gas. I'm going to say that again, $7 and climbing. Everybody wants to blame it on the Russian Ukraine war. Well, the prices were up high before the war, before they invaded. So let's just kick that lie out right now. All right. Now, then they want to say it's because of the oil industry and they don't want to drill. Go back and listen to what our president said before he was elected. He was coming after fossil fuels. We're going to reduce and get rid of, no, here's what he said. We're going to get rid of fossil fuels. So the day after his inauguration, he put in regulations. Totally went against what President Trump did, who was pro. Remember, we were energy independent. We're no longer energy independent. Do you know that if he wouldn't have stopped the pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline, do you know it would be completed by now? We would have access to actually producing 900,000 barrels more per day of oil, which is about equivalent to what we're getting from Russia right now. Okay, all right. I'm not trying to make this into a political issue. I'm just saying, let's just be honest out there. The administration, be honest. And so it's time to just admit that you're wrong. Let's start drilling, give them some concessions, now I will say this, the oil industry, they're loving this gas prices this high up. They're not going to be in any hurry to drill and produce more oil and get more barrels so that the price can go down. Do you really think they want the price to be reduced? They have the administration to blame right now, so they don't look like the bad guys and girls. So, but the question was, in response to the high gas prices, I think it was Jen Psaki, even our president said this: you need to buy EVs, you need to buy electrical vehicles, buy cars with zero emissions. And I get it. I get it. You know, we're looking out for the environment. I get that. Okay. I'm not against that. But I want you to see how unrealistic that is. What I've done, I've compiled a list. I've compiled a list of the current EVs that are being sold in America. Now, this list is not exhaustive, meaning that it's every single car, but it's most of them. I may have missed a few. Okay. But I've got a list of about 25 vehicles that are like the most desirable in the industry, in the EV industry. Okay. Now, here's the question I want to pose to you out there. Say you were like in my situation. We have a Toyota hybrid that we bought last year because I knew this day was coming. And so me and my wife, I said, hey, let's get a hybrid, save on gas. But we have an older car, a 2009 Nissan Rogue. It's running beautifully. It's great. But gas, ICE, okay, internal combustion engine. It's a gas car, and it doesn't get the gas mileage that our Toyota gets. I had to fill it up yesterday, right? $7 a gallon. So just last week, it was about 50 something, $50 to fill it up, 50 bucks, 55, 60 maybe, almost $90 yesterday. From 50 to $90 in less than a week. I drive to LA. I live almost like an hour and 15 minutes away from Los Angeles. I drive to LA 3 times a week. And when I get there, I drive. My job includes some driving. All right. There's a good chance I'll be putting $100 a week in my vehicle. That one vehicle. My hybrid still takes gas. Okay, it's just get better gas mileage. The MPG, the gas mileage is about 55 miles per gallon. I get for my hybrid, so that's great. But I still got to put gas in it, not as often. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. My wife is going to drive the Rogue. I'll take the hybrid, the 3 times. See, it was working because I was only going 3 times a week. But now that the gas is so high, we're going to switch. I'm taking the Toyota. She'll take the Rogue. Her job is closer. And that's the reason. Her job is closer. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So we got people making all these kinds of decisions because the gas mileage is up. And then we have our administration who are insensitive. They are very insensitive to the consumer right now. For you to say, and I'm going to show you why this does not make sense. For you to say, go out and buy an electric vehicle. That's the answer to high prices, the gas prices being so high. That's the answer you want to give to us? That's the solution to this problem? When we're looking at probably by the end of the year, if things don't get better, we're looking at, and especially because of the sanctions, now that they've sanctioned Russia on this oil, oh man, we could be hitting $9, $10 a gallon at one point, gang. Boy, thank you, administration. Thank you for digging deeper into our pockets. Man, this is crazy. So anyway, let's go over this. Now, I may not do the whole list on this video. I may do a part 2 of this. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to keep this video around 15 minutes, and right now we're already at 12, heading towards 13. So I'm trying to hit it around 15, 16 minutes. Okay? All right. Now, what I'm going to do, this is not a review of the vehicle. You got to go and do your own research, okay? All I'm going to do is give the range, because this is what people really look at. How far, what's the range, in meaning electrical range? When I plug that vehicle up, that EV up, and I fill it up and it's fully charged, how far will it get me from point A to point B, and how long will that charge hold? Okay, that's the range. And then I'm going to give you the price. I want to show you just how impractical it is to make a suggestion to a 22-year-old who just got out of college, has this huge loan that they have to pay back. And you're telling them, go out and buy an EV. All right, here's the first EV, GMC Hummer. It's the GMC Hummer EV. It has a range of 329 miles. It's pretty good. You know what the price is? $112,595. Now, some of you, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but there's a government incentive. Well, first of all, many of these vehicles have already exceeded 200,000. Once you've sold 200,000 units, your vehicle can no longer participate in that incentive. And I believe it's what, 7,500? Okay, so that's a good amount, 7,500. You get that money back after you buy your EV. But what people don't tell you is that there's several of these vehicles, the good ones, the nice ones that are really popular, that have already exceeded 200,000 units. So they no longer have it like Tesla. They exceeded it long ago. Now, I may do a video on which ones have exceeded 200,000. I think that would be a good video, don't you think? All right. I'm letting you know how much you're going to pay for this EV and how impractical it is for the administration to ask us to do this. Okay, number 2, the Rivian R1S. I'm sorry, the R1S. And that's their SUV version. It's the range is 316 miles. 316 miles. Anything in the 300s, I have to say it's pretty good. But let's look at the price. 76,575. Okay, let's take the 7,500. Let's take the 7,500. You're looking at about $68,000. Who's got that kind of money? All right, the Rivian R1T. That's the pickup. It has 314 miles range, and it's going for 74,075. So you're looking at about 67,000 after. After the incentive. Next is the Porsche, and it's spelled Taycan, but it's not Taycan, it's Tycoon. Porsche Tycoon Cross Turismo. It has a range of 215 miles. Just 215 miles. This is Porsche. It's going for $95,000. Do you hear that, administration? All right, next. Let me speed up. I got 1 more minute and then we'll do another video. Jaguar I-Pace, 234 miles. Jaguar I-Pace, 234 miles, $71,000. The Audi E-Tron Sportback, it has a range of 218 miles, $70,000. The Audi E-Tron SUV, it has a range of 222 miles, the range, and it's $66,000. The Porsche Tycoon, this is just a regular Porsche electrical Tycoon. It has a range of 200 miles. Okay, 200 miles. That's less than the other one. its counterpart, Porsche Tycoon, and it's going for 84,000. So one of them is 95. That's a higher end, and then this one is going for 84,000. Audi e-tron, the GT. This is the upper version, the premium version. It's 238-mile range. It says a 238-mile range. I have a problem with any vehicle, electric vehicle, that's under 300 miles, especially living in California, where everything is so far apart. And traffic, because that does affect your power, the weight of your vehicle, what you have in your vehicle, how fast you drive, how heavy your foot is on the pedal. That really affects your charge. Okay. The Audi e-tron GT. Okay, 238-mile range, $103,000. I'm going to do 2 more and then I'll go to the next. Then you can check it out on the next video. I'll complete the list on the next video. Volvo, 223 miles range. It's going for it's called the Recharge. Volvo XC40 Recharge, and it's going for 56,000. Volvo C40. There's the XC40 and then there's the C40 Recharge. It's got a range of 226 miles and it's going for $59,845. I want you to notice there's not a vehicle other than the Volvos that are under 50,000 that I've just listed. None of them are under 50,000. Do you know that's a down payment on a home? the GMC Hummer, $112,000. You can go to South Carolina and buy a condo cash with that money. Come on, go buy an EV. All right, this is it for this video. I'm at 20 minutes. It's too long. So I'm going to give you part two. Stay tuned for part two, and we'll continue this list so that you can see how impractical it is for our administration to tell people to rent out unless you're rich. But I'm talking about the middle class, poor folk, lower class, middle class. If you're rich, this doesn't bother you. But the everyday American, the prices have to come down. They're going to have to come down. We'll talk about that as well. Anyway, stay tuned. Keep checking it off. You got to hear this list because you may be thinking about an electric vehicle. I want you to hear the prices. It's astounding. Have a great day.